Welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Gasolano. Let's get you to some of the biggest stories of the week. At number 5 in our countdown, an American released from the Taliban has reunited with his family here in San Antonio. This is video of 64-year-old Dennis Coyle landing at Fort Sam Houston Wednesday morning. He was detained in Afghanistan in January of 2025 on allegations of violating laws. Afghan authorities never publicly said what those laws were, but announced he served, quote, sufficient time and had been pardoned. At number 4 in our countdown, TSA agents are poised to miss another paycheck, putting pressure on lawmakers at Capitol Hill to make a deal to end the partial government shutdown. The acting TSA administrator testified on Wednesday about the growing impacts. He said they have been forced to consolidate lanes, which is causing hours-long wait times during security check. He also said they may have to close smaller airports if they don't have enough TSA officers. At number 3 in our countdown, NTSB investigators continue to look into the deadly collision between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck. The pilot and co-pilot were killed in the crash and nearly 40 other people injured. The NTSB revealed the technology made to prevent a collision, known as the Airport Surface Detection System, did not activate because the fire truck did not have a transponder that would have alerted the control tower of its location. The team is now looking into several possible issues, including staffing in air traffic control towers and a runway warning system. Switching gears, some homeowners in east of Bexar County didn't know what to do after a telephone pole line started sagging across their property. Well, after calling companies for 2 months, one homeowner finally called KENS. Our Andrew Moore has a look at what happened next.
Ruben Rinsby says a large hanging line was sagging across his neighbor's property and nearly touching the ground, and he was worried it was a safety hazard, but no matter who he called, he couldn't get it fixed. But after KENS 5 got involved and we called multiple companies, AT&T came out and fixed it in just a few days.
This line is stretching and it's coming down.
Ruben Rinsby says this line, which turned out to be a phone line, had really started to worry him when it started sagging over the last 2 months. It was now nearly blocking his next-door neighbor, making contact with their fence, and almost touching the ground down the road.
So I don't know if it's a charged wire or not. When it's windy, it really swings.
Rinsby is also worried that the weight of the line was too much for this pole, and it would eventually fall. He says he tried to report it.
I called CPS. I tried calling AT&T numerous times.
And finally, he called KENS 5.
My neighbor suggested it. He says, it's called Eyewitness Wants to Know.
KENS 5 then reached out to multiple companies to try and find out who owned the line and find out who could do something about it. Both Spectrum and AT&T then sent crews to check it out, and AT&T had a contractor raise the line and attach it to a different pole a few days later.
When I saw it, immediately I called you and I said, hey, the job is done.
An AT&T spokesperson later told us in a statement, as soon as we were made aware of the condition of our cable, our team worked quickly to transfer the line and ensure it was installed at the proper height. Residents can report damaged or low-hanging cables at 800-288-2020.
It feels good that somebody cares.
Rinsby says he's glad AT&T came out, and he's also glad he called KENS 5.
Thanks to KENS 5. You all did a great job because you listened and made contacts and got the job. It's done.
And again, AT&T told us anyone else having issues with these lines should call them at 1-800-288-2020, and they will come out and take a look. For Call KENS, Andrew Moore, KENS 5.
Glad they were able to get that fixed. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem, call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very, 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 very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5+.
At number 2 in our countdown, there are new numbers out on the measles outbreak showing cases are on the rise. 11 new cases were reported in Texas within the past week, according to the state health department. That pushes the total to 147 this year. Nationwide, nearly 1,500 cases have been confirmed in just the last 3 months. The CDC says the U.S. is on track to surpass last year's outbreak, which neared 2,300 cases. If that happens, it would be the worst year for measles since 1990. And from the moment we learn to use our mouths to eat and speak, we start learning about oral hygiene and taking care of your teeth and gums. And as KENS 5's Jeremy Baker reports, making sure your mouth is in marvelous shape is also important for your health in general.
We know that teeth are important for chewing, for speech, and for those all-important smiles. But we now know that taking care of your teeth isn't just about your mouth, but about your whole body health, too.
If you maintain healthy teeth, you can improve your cardiovascular health, reduce your risk for diabetes, and improve cognitive function as we age.
We want to instill in that very early on, because if we do that, we'll prevent cavities and we'll prevent having that pain and that discomfort.
When it comes to kids and the dentist, the Annie Casey Foundation found 3 out of 4 kids in the U.S. did not receive preventative dental care in the past year. It also found 1 in 4 kids have teeth that are not in at least good condition. And by the time they enter kindergarten, about 1 out of every 2 kids has already experienced tooth decay.
If we see a child for that first visit at age 3 or 4, they may already have cavities, and then we have to deal with the issues of having cavities.
We've all heard the phrase, that sounds as much fun as a root canal. But what many people don't understand is that the dentist is there to free you of your pain, not make it worse. And professionals like endodontists who do those procedures have the tools to do it right, so you don't have to fear the dentist's chair.
We use advanced techniques, new technologies, improved local anesthetics. The procedure is quick, it's easy, comfortable, and pain-free.
For more about keeping those pearly whites healthy so both kids and adults can avoid tooth trouble, head to this story on KENS5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Some good information there. All right, the weekly wrap is back after this quick break.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots. I have Spurs roots. I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching Ken's 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
That is fantastic. Catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on Kens 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. Hey, we're just a few weeks away from Fiesta, and already volunteers are working behind the scenes to put on San Antonio's biggest party with a purpose. And this was the chairman dinner for A Night in Old San Antonio. The 4-day festival features 150 booths, and the chairmen were given their final instructions before the big event. As for the food at Niosa, officials tell us there will be some new options this year.
We have a couple of new food booths. We have a chicken gordita booth. We have our strawberry and lemonade, and then we have our decadent, what we're calling decadent pops and berries, which is a chocolate covered strawberry with a chocolate cake pop.
Sounds delicious. Niosa will run from April 21st through the 28th. Tickets are on sale now, and all the money raised from the event goes to the San Antonio Conservation Society. All right, and at number 1 in our countdown, it's week 2 of the capital murder trial of Christopher Preciado. He's on trial for the December 2023 murders of Matthew Guerra, Savannah Soto, and their unborn child. They were found dead in a car in an apartment complex's parking lot in January of 2024. Preciado was arrested and charged for their murder. Witness testimony concluded Wednesday afternoon. The defense and prosecution are presenting their closing arguments. If found guilty, Preciado faces up to life in prison. Be sure to stay tuned to KENS5.com for the very latest on that trial. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on KENS 5 Plus. Be sure to join us next week for all new headlines. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.